Look like we good.
You're live?
I believe so. I'm testing it now. Yep, I am.
Come on, man.
Yeah, say excellent condition.
It doesn't show a notification, of course.
Nah.
I don't get feathers. I don't have feathers anymore.
What do you mean?
Like on when I go on the YouTube thing, and my feathers don't come up anymore. None of my icons, none of the icons you have come up anymore. No feathers.
Wait, nothing. Are you referring to the
YouTube?
Yeah, but you're talking about the emojis. None of the stuff is working.
Yeah, the emojis. None of the emojis that you have.
Mm-hmm.
The OCO, all of that. None of that's there. None of that's there. Not on my phone. Not on my computer.
Interesting.
And I did right just now. I did not get your notification, and I have you both. Well, my phone is on the app, but I have my computer up for YouTube, and no notification came up.
And we know how that's going.
It might not be you. It might be me, because, like I said, I research all kinds of stuff, man. I'll be like all over the place. You know, I'm watching these so-called patriots and the stuff they talk about, and you know, so.
Here they go. Oh, see you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Just testing this out. That's why I didn't do the intro. I didn't do anything like that. It's just mainly going to be random topics. I just want to let you guys know that the Discord is finally here. The 13% server is here. A few people have already joined that were already listening. Certain things that we talked about, I'm not going to talk about on YouTube. We already know why. But it is certain things that I would love to go over. And if you want to speak with me, you can join. The link is in the description. In fact, I can post it here. 1 second. Wait, what? Oh, okay. I was like, okay. To YouTube. All right, so I pinned it to the top. Poor connection. Hold up, wait. YouTube is saying, and they could be lying. YouTube is saying I have a poor connection. Could everybody hear me out there? Pretty good?
I can hear you.
Nah, but keep in mind, you on the
Hold on, let me go. I'm going. I know what you're saying. Hold on.
And don't forget, those of you that are sitting in the audience right here in the server itself, if you would like to come up, I think there's a button that you could press and I could accept you in here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I could accept the request.
I heard you loud and clear on YouTube.
You can hear me loud and clear. There's no hiccups?
No hiccup. Well, my delay when I went in the room, but that makes
sense. It's a delay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
People saying loud and clear. All right, loud and clear. Okay, so, but that's it. It's going to be more to this. This is just the beginning. Of course, I'm not going to mention all plans out here in the open like that, but this is just the beginning, so we all can communicate as a community. And you'll be able to speak to me like how we were just doing over here on the server, and I just decided to go live randomly. So that's mainly where we are right now. But I wanted to give you guys this link. I'm probably going to post it inside of the chat later on if I decide to keep this up. But I know it's super early, so I'm not expecting for a big show this early. People still got to get up, get ready, go to work. You know, shout out to y'all. Y'all doing y'all thing. Keep taking care of the family. Keep taking care of yourself. Even though it's a lot of stuff going on in the world, and it could look like it's all bad, but that depends on how you look at it. Because if it's not affecting you, then it's not all bad. Yeah, I haven't had my coffee yet. Somebody posted a coffee emoji. I need to go downstairs and fix me a cup. But I've been up in here speaking with the people, having beautiful conversations, and that's what I'm about, you know, and that's what this is for. So if you want to do that, click that button, join the server. You'll be automatically addressed with the rules and regulations, and boom, you take care of that part, become a member. I'm going to eventually schedule live streams on the server, so you'll be notified. There's going to be events, and then my admins will do it for me as well. And then I'm also going to it's going to be certain times where I'll take like how you hear the gentleman and whoever else wants to come up and speak, I'll be able to allow people to come up here as I'm streaming, and we'll be able to have a conversation. We could do it that way. And I think that's going to be beautiful. That's something that I was missing. So it's here now. And I can still get to, you know, show my screen, etc., etc. That was the thing. That's what I wanted. So close friends of mine introduced me to the server, was like, hey, you need to get one. I said, all right, I got it. Yes, Ralph, it's a Discord. I turned my nose up at the name of it, but the guy that introduced me to it was like, you just take the disc out and make it your cord. And I was like, okay, I'm sold. All right, I'll do it. I'll do it. And but it's a community-based server. This is not a server where over here battling against each other, debating, etc., etc. That's not what it's about. Family oriented, you know. We got people depending on us, so I'm taking this very serious, and I hope you do too. There's sections in there where you'll be able to talk about genealogy. If you're a Patreon member, there's sections in there for you. If you're a YouTube channel member, there's sections in there for you. There's a general chat. There's also chat rooms available for voices. People I got it maxed out for 25 per room, 25 people per room, so it won't get overcrowded. Moderators do have the right, you know, to navigate those rooms, make sure everything is okay. And like I said, there is rules there, so it shouldn't be people going over the top with it, trying to do silly stuff. You know, it'll be a beautiful thing for everybody. Now I got 3 screens going, so let me pull y'all over here. Hold on, let me do the pop-up so I can look at both screens. Okay, great. Yeah, I wish you guys can see. Well, my moderators can on my YouTube channel, but YouTube, and I already brought this up to the YouTube agent that they'll assign to my channel. I already brought it up to her to let them know that they've been blocking my emojis. So I know you're not lying. You know what I'm saying? You're not the first person to tell me that. You know, I witnessed that firsthand, that they were doing things with my emojis, you know, whatever. But long as the message is getting across, I'm fine with that. But that's something they do have to fix, because when people want those emojis, they want it. Oh, and by the way, those same emojis got transferred over to the server, so everybody has those emojis over here as well.
It wasn't like, yeah, just like you said, the message was getting across. So I mean, I just wanted you to know that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. I mean, there's multiple things that they were doing to my channel. That wasn't the only thing. What's up, Atlanta? Flint, Michigan, Chicago. What's going on? Kyrie, Misnomer Trinidad. She's saying a real name out here. Sending love from Jamaica. What's going on, Jamaica?
You got a lot of people in here.
Cincinnati in the building. What's up, Marcel? I see you. Louisiana in the building. Baltimore in the building. Grand Rising from California. What time is it in California? Man, it's early. What's up, Cali? Jamaica in the building. New Jersey in the building. Decatur, Georgia. Texas. I know this early for y'all. Bahamas. San Antonio, Texas. Y'all get on me about it in the comments later. Don't do it now. Cleveland in here. Staten Island, New York. Birmingham, Alabama. Charlotte, North Carolina. What's that? Laurel, Maryland? Is that Laurel, Maryland? That's the only Laurel I know, so you got to be specific. UK in the building. Oh, it's 4 a.m. in Cali? Sheesh. I mean, me personally, I will still be up because that's the that's the time I'm getting work done. That's the time when my kids are knocked out and I'm able to get some work without being interrupted. Kalamazoo, Michigan. Bronx. Ocio Ernest, how you? Casa Grande, Arizona. What's up, Arizona? I wonder how hot it is right now in Arizona. Speaking of that, was it Arizona? Oh no, it was Illinois. Did y'all hear that my son told me that he ran across some information on how they were trying to stop certain people from having, oh man, it was like federal offenses or something like that. Like with people, for example, like a second-degree assault or some type of misdemeanors or stuff like that, they were all being let go out of jail. People with gun charges. I'm not sure. I gotta look it up. But my son was like, Dad, you gotta look this up. Mate, they're going crazy. And I think it's Illinois. I think he said Illinois. I was like, what? Somebody said, yep, non-offense crimes. I gotta look it up. Yeah, that's in Illinois. Okay.
Well, anything related to cannabis being legalized, people should be.
Yeah, but no, they were saying more than just that. He was saying, like when I heard second-degree assault, I was like, wait, so I gotta look at it. In fact, I should pull it up, but all of my screens are taken now. Yep, Illinois. People saying it's in Illinois. Okay, so he was right. Shy turning into purge. Political. It does sound political, but I mean, just listen to how that's going to turn out. Because if it's okay, I understand they're getting rid of people off of, like marijuana charges, something like that. But like second-degree assault, second-degree murder, stuff like that. I'm like, what? Whoa. And they letting them go? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if they turn around and they actually messed up in their mind and go do the same thing again? How is that stopping from, certain people are able to carry, but I don't think they're able to carry in Illinois. I'm not too sure. Y'all can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But how are people able to protect themselves legally? That's kind of.
That was that case in New York with that Spanish old guy. They was trying to charge him for defending himself when they came behind the counter.
That's what happened in Illinois?
No, that happened in New York. They tried to charge the owner.
Wait, wasn't that just recently? I think I saw that.
Recently.
Yeah.
That was recently.
Wait, so they were trying to charge the owner?
They were trying to charge him.
Oh, because wasn't he charging at him though? Like, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, that's something.
He was defending himself. The guy came charging at him. He was sitting down, pushed him back down, pushed him against the shelves.
Right, I saw that.
And then he was trying to get away, and the guy wouldn't let him get away. So that's when he reached.
Yeah, that one is kind of. I don't know. That one kind of.
The girl provoked the guy to do it too.
I'm sure. I mean, you know, certain. Let's not even go there. But certain people, like, you know, you got to try to show off for certain people. So certain people gonna sit there and be like, "Hey, you better do something." So that certain person gonna do it just to show off for that certain person.
Yeah.
Hoping they gonna get something out of the deal, but maybe jail time. Battery, burglary, second-degree murder, and plenty more. Wow. See, burglary? Like, how is this non-violence offenders? But but that's still, I don't understand that. That's still consistent of like second-degree assault, second-degree murder. That's still violent.
It's violent. Yeah,
I don't understand how that's not violent. Like, I don't understand. Who's saying that?
That just sounds like a repeated political event.
Is that the Democrats?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I believe that's the impression I get when I see these tactics.
Let me look that up. I'm trying to see if that's the. I might have to look it up on my cell phone now. Let me look it up to see exactly. Oh, no. Non-detainable offenses. Non-detainable. All right, so being charged with these crimes in 2023 in Illinois won't detain you. All right, let me read them off. So these are now become non-detainable offenses. Wow, listen to this, y'all. Aggravated battery, aggravated DUI, aggravated fleeing, arson, burglary, drug-induced homicide, intimidation, kidnapping, robbery. What? Listen to this. Second-degree murder. How is this? Okay, hold on. This is real. This is real. How?
You're set free if you kidnap. What?
How? Wait, hold on. Let me. This is real. This is real. This is absolutely real. In fact, this is on a news station in Illinois. WFCN News Illinois. And another one was second degree. Okay, I said robbery, second degree murder, and threatening a public official. All of these are going to become non-detainable offenses. It's called the Illinois Safety Act.
Wow.
Wait a minute. Listen to this. Listen to the pun. The Illinois Safe dash the letter is capital T. Safety Act. Like, I swear, Safe dash the letter T Act. That's the name of it. That's the name of it. And I'm smiling. The only reason, because that's not funny, I'm smiling. You know how I do.
Yeah.
I brush off the negativity with laughter, but I'm like, this is not. That's not good. That's not good. That's really horrible, to be honest with you.
What's the T stand for? Target?
Right, because like, that's what I'm saying. Like, cause think about it. Think about the safety of other people that are being surrounded. Okay, we don't know who, but you talking about kidnapping and robbing.
I know, kidnapping, that's deep.
Come on. Second degree murder?
Murder, I know.
Arsons? Like, those the fools that got something wrong with their minds for real.
Is it what's her name? I forgot. I don't want to say the name. Lightfoot. Is that what it is? Lightfoot.
Which one? Arsons?
The mayor.
Who?
The mayor who runs?
Oh, I don't know. The mayor that runs Illinois?
I think that's that Lightfoot person.
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question.
That's
I can find out.
Lori Lightfoot. I think she's the Chicago mayor. Or she's Chicago something. I don't know. She just be making some strange rules, though.
You talking about the? I think I know who you're talking about. The lady that look like she's of color, right?
Yes.
Wait.
Yes,
so what? This is done on her watch?
I believe so. I believe she's Chicago.
This goes into effect January 1st, 2023. This is real.
Mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot.
This criminal justice reform law is the elimination of cash bail for anyone charged with any of close to a dozen crimes that are now classified as non-detainable offenses. Under this new law, if you are charged with a crime on the list that I just read, you will be able to be released without bail pending a court date. Man, this is not good. So they can do what they want to do and get released from jail. Hold on. I'm trying to make that make sense, because how does that make sense?
It makes sense for those that are trying to create a problem.
But but you're releasing them out to the public to create more problems?
Yeah.
How is that solving the issue?
Well, it doesn't. It's just to go towards a police state.
That's not, and that's happening fast. We talk 2023 right around the corner. January 1st, 2023. So at the top of next year, these criminals will go buck wild in Illinois. And they and on top of that, they just go get a slap on the wrist, get sent out to the public again until their court date. So that means that court, what are they gonna have, a speedy court date? Or is it gonna take 2 to 3 months, 4 months? Like, how long is that gonna take? Because then they could be out in the public again, doing the same thing again.
Which is actually happening. That's actually happening.
And then what if they do it again? Would they get released again? What if they do I'm just saying, what if they do the exact same thing again? Okay, a burglar, for example, he burglarized a home. He get locked up. He get released until his court date. Then he go burglarize another home. He get locked up, and then what happens? And then what? Are you gonna keep him, or you gonna let him go again? Apparently, according to this law, they're gonna let him go again.
Right.
That doesn't make any bit of sense. The governor should be fired. She's the mayor or governor. She should be fired. She should be. How did she even get in there again? Who voted for her?
No one.
Is somebody playing with the election? Okay, listen. She shouldn't be there. There's no way in the world that this is law. Like, I can't believe I'm reading this. Illinois Safety Act. Safety.
Chicago's out of control.
I don't understand.
It's an invitation. That's what that is. That's what it sounds like.
Somebody said a purge earlier. That's not good. And they did give us part 1 and 2 and 3 of that movie. They were dropping crates off of guns to those neighborhoods. I already put that up. I think YouTube took that down, but it was on my channel.
That's what was being done in these protests. With bricks and rocks and stuff like that.
Yeah, I showed that too on my channel.
Yes, sir.
With BLM. I showed that too. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm just trying to, and I hope that doesn't trickle down to other states. But if anything, they would probably try to do it within crowded areas or those that have the crime, because Chicago's crime rate is sky high. I'm not sure if they're number 1 on the list. I think that's Detroit, right? That's number 1. Yeah. I could be wrong. I think Detroit is number 1, but Chicago got to be like top 5. And that's not fair. They just want to hurry up and make our youngins kill each other. They don't want our generations to multiply. And the way these see, and it's the main reason why because it was a brother up on here that was 21. That you heard him. He was 21. I think before I went live, he was up here 21. See, that's why I'm trying to hurry up and get some things done. Because we got to get these brothers that are young, but not young in the mind. Because that could rub off on those young brothers that don't know what else to do or where else to go. This could change their whole entire mindset. Get them out of those streets and put their faces in books or put their faces into looking at a way better future. Ownership. But that's crazy. I mean, I know Chicago retarded. Where I'm from, DC, I know it's crazy. I don't know where they at on the list. I hope that don't happen in DC. I mean, I'm upset that it's happening in Illinois. I'm very upset at that.
Well, the person who runs it knows exactly what they're doing, and it's not in our favor.
Nowhere near our favor.
No.
Like,
well, I mean, that person falls into the category of BLM anyways. Because, I mean, you know, when you cover that symbol of the 3-party family, 2 kids and 1 parent, I mean, and then you see who she is and the relationship that she's in and where her head is, she don't care about men.
It depends on the woman. It does depend on the woman.
Well, she's involved with a woman.
Now, see, most of them are that's in BLM. I know where you getting at. I know where you getting at. And they trying to take care of family. The mayor's the same way?
Right. Well, the mayor, the mayor is with a woman and she could care less, I'm sure.
See, I don't know. See, I've seen her, but I haven't been following her. I didn't know she was.
Yeah, she's with a woman.
But I just got to let people know that that's not all of them. It's just certain ones that got a particular mindset. Certain ones that got a particular mindset and want to go about it a different route. And they think it's all about them, and it's really not. Yeah. But that's also forcing our young brothers to not become men. That's also forcing our young brothers to not have a life. Like, that's putting everybody in danger when you letting those criminals come back into the street immediately.
Well, yeah, they're doing that in every angle too, trying to degress us from being men and wearing clothes and acting certain ways. And just, I have to say, I mean, I don't wear. I mean, I see a lot of these brothers wearing tight pants, and it really bothers me sometimes.
Yeah, I don't see how they could do it.
I know why they're doing it. It's just, I just don't see how.
I don't see how they could do it. That's too uncomfortable. And then on top of that, if you were trying to run from somebody, how you running from somebody? But I'm just saying, you know, that's their styles. Like, I mean, and then on top of that, I remember some of that was happening back in the 70s as well. In the 70s, they were wearing tight pants. Yeah. They were wearing tight bell bottoms. So I know certain things come back around, just in a different, you know, form. It gets modified. History repeats itself if you allow it. But yeah, they were doing that back in the 70s hard. A lot of men were doing that. Tight shirts, small shirts, have it buttoned up open. Either one. But the young brothers now the only difference is back then they were on drugs. Now they on harder drugs and got guns.
Yep.
And got guns.
That's good news.
A lot of the people in the 70s, some of the men became fathers. I want to say the majority of them stuck with their families. Nowadays, you don't see that. You don't see a lot of the men sticking with their families for whatever reason. I'm not going to put it on a man or a woman, for whatever reason. But it's not family oriented, to go back to what he said. That's basically what BLM was promoting. And I showed you guys that in the video. he was right. Where this brother just said that they're showing you two children in an image of an adult, one adult.
One adult, yes.
And they told you that that adult was the woman.
Yep.
So they're not including, and they saying that that is a family, okay? But you got to understand that it takes two to tango. So that will be considered a broken family. And I don't want to, you know, that's not knocking nobody that has a situation that's very similar. I'm not knocking anyone if they're going through that situation. I just want to let you know that that's not a full-fledged family. A full-fledged family consists of a mother and a father and their children. And that's unfortunate because there's certain situations that, like, for example, they putting criminals back out on the street. Just think about them doing that now. What were they doing back then that amounted to our families being broken? One thing that I could think of is that they put, and I know this might touch home to certain people, so I'm gonna be very careful with what I'm saying here. I'm gonna be honest with you because I don't want you to get offended. But what they put out there was the welfare that separated our families, where certain members of the family, it could be male or female, felt as though that they didn't need the help of the male or female and that they could rely on the government.
Yes, yes.
And that separate, and listen to me, y'all. This is how it separated our families at a young age. And I'm talking about young age. They did that to them when they were young. When they were out there trying to work hard to make ends meet, things were a little bit shaky, and so was their relationship. So they put somebody said it, they put the welfare, the food stamps out there to make the mother or the father disassociate themselves with the mother or the father, okay? And say, well, I could do better by getting the government, and the government replaced that mother or father figure inside of the household. Not only did it affect the families, but it affected, not only did it affect the relationship of the mother or father, but it affected the children that they brought into this world, which means that they affected the next generations. So now the next generations are the ones that are getting locked up, left and right, killing their brothers and sisters, left and right, joining gangs because they don't have no father or mother figure to love them, so they think they could get love from these gangs that are not going to show up to their funeral, that are not going to take care of their best wishes, that are not going to pay their bills, that are not going to help them when they're hungry. They only want to listen, y'all. That's how it's been happening for our communities for years. We can stop this, but the only way that we can stop this is if we, as adults, step up and do something about it. Like, okay, for example, this Chicago mayor, whoever approved this law, shouldn't be there. In fact, the whole organization shouldn't be there. That's a way to infiltrate our community some more. Now, the more I think about that, of course, that's another tactic done to hurt our children. But that's also another flag or another, that's another rap and a line. I mean, a line in a rap song. They could get away with it. They're going to be bragging about it. That's another tactic for YouTubers to talk about little topics they could get away with. But it's going to be up to the parents of that particular area to forfeit that relationship with that mayor, whatever she is, and that with governor, whoever approved it. Now, hold on, let me go back to this. Was this this was a totally different state where all of the police force left? That wasn't Illinois, right? Somebody, no, that was somewhere else where somebody got hired and she was of color and the entire police force quit. I think that was in a totally different state. So that's unrelated to what point I'm trying to make here. So let me not even bring that up. I'm sorry about that. But I'm just saying, disassociate yourself with what they got going on and take care of you.
Yeah.
And take care of you.
Well, welfare caused the domino effect.
And it happened years ago, and the best way for us to get out of their welfare is to take care of our own welfare. Take care of our well-beings on our own, like policing our communities, like creating opportunities for these young brothers. These young brothers don't have nothing to do. They don't have nothing to do. And it's multiple, like it could be police officers, it could be politicians, it could be undercovers, dropping crates off of guns saying, here, y'all go ahead and kill each other. And then all of a sudden they got automatics for free. Well, what if you drop off a crate of shoes? What if you drop off a crate of something that's going to take them away from, and I'm not saying drop it all, but actually be there and pass it out to them. Like, do community work. Somebody of Illinois need to do more. It just need to be more than one person. It should be all parents to step up, especially the men, to step up and do community work to calm all that riffraff down in Illinois. That could stop without the police help. The police are not even there to protect and serve. Or, I mean, unless you want to count that they're protecting and serving the government. Because they're not there to protect and serve the citizens. They're just going there to observe and report on the citizens. They're just the security guards. That's it. And that's not fair that Chicago been like that for, if I'm not mistaken, ever since the 50s? Oh no, 60s, right? Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, because that was another way for them to control the trade by way of the trains. That was another way for them to control the trade by way of the trains. Going beyond the Mississippi River at that point. Now you're controlling what's going in and what's going out by way of the train system. Somebody said the 30s. I wanted to say the 50s. You could be right, Jay.
Crime has been going on in Chicago with mafia, with just crime in general in that area for the longest times. I say probably before the 50s.
So Jay's probably right, like the 30s.
It's been going on for a while over there. That's one of those places. It's just like New York. I mean, all that underground stuff. I mean, they're very vague on it on TV because that's part of this. That's part of what runs this world, on this country, unfortunately.
Yeah, they're controlling the trade.
All right.
Somebody said decades, 1920s. A lot of people.
Decades,
okay, two people said
yeah.
1920s, 1930s.
But it's no coincidence that welfare backwards is farewell.
See?
So, you know.
Going back to what we talked about as far as actually, we could bring that up. A nice segue to it, how they manipulated our own language. Now, a lot of people, I want to bring this out. It is changing the subject. It is. I want to segue to it because he did bring that up. We were talking about this earlier, dealing with the English language and how they casted spells over our language in order to manipulate it to how it is today, to where we're doing ourselves a disservice by way of spelling out words the way they want us to spell it versus us saying it or pronouncing it out the way it sounds. It works against us. I gave them the example of the term because they changed a lot of the words by giving it different meanings or more than one meaning. What was the example I said? Oh, water.
Water. They said it was water, yeah.
How would you spell the word? I'm looking in the chat. If you would spell the word water the way we are saying it, like coming out of our mouth, how would it be said? Or how would it be spelled? Yes, Lydia, it's a canoe. See, somebody, they on it. Leo, water, W-A-T-A. Water. See, because you got certain accents, so you go say with a D. Because you said D too, right? You said D?
I said a D, yeah.
Yeah.
Water.
A lot. So yeah, see, water or water. Yeah, that's correct. Or with an H, yep, or with an H. Somebody put an H in there. Now, or water, right? Depending on where you are. I can hear that, W-O-T-T-E-R. Now, and Liddy was correct. That word originally meant canoe. That's an Algonquin word. Now you got to understand how what were we saying? Oh, I was talking about how that the foreigners came over here. In order for them to communicate with us, they had to adapt our language. But and this is the reason why we say that they were speaking a form of broken English, because they didn't know how to. Number one, they didn't know how to write it. Because if you go back to the old spellings of certain things, you wouldn't be able to understand what they're saying unless you really look at it. How they'll put Y's where it's supposed to be an I, how they'll put 2 T's where it's supposed to be 1. A lot of things was changed because they didn't know how to spell it, how to write it down.
Chances are when England learned their language, that's when they decided to call it proper English.
Right, and then they calling what Old English? Which one was old? Was it ours or theirs?
Right.
Because if you coming into a brand new, matter of fact, they said this was the new world, and you didn't adopt our language, then how else do we communicate? And that's what I want people to know, because they're always saying that we're speaking the Queen's English. But like you said earlier, that was just their proper way. They'll call it the proper way of saying the words. Stating the words. But what about the way we say them? The original way, yes, the original language was sign language. Yes, sign language as well. That's how we communicated with foreigners. But by way of speech and tongue, keep in mind the term English, I mentioned this before, and I don't know which video it was, is a trade language, just like French, just like Spanish. Those are trade languages. So in order for them to communicate with us, because you brought up tobacco, in order for them, the Dutch or the douche, to come over here and communicate with us, that's what they're still called that today, the douche. The douche. The douche. They're not the Dutch, they're the douche. They will correct you on that right now. They come over here in order to trade with us because we were the tobacco growers. Yes, pidgin. It's a pidgin language. Jess is correct. They're all pidgin. They're lingua francas. So they're adopting certain words that they learned from us by way of sound. Vowel sounds, that's right, April. And they mixed it up with what they know.
Let me ask you this. Do you think, all right, you see, in this nation, from one end to the next, we have what we call slang. Do you think it's a possibility that could be a language that we are speaking?
And they call it a slang. But what is a slang? What's another way of saying? What do you hear when you hear slang?
Sounds. It's, I mean, like from down south, people understand each other down south, no matter where it is. It's like in California, it's like to anyone who hears clearly the words, they're speaking slang, but they understand each other.
But they putting the S in front of lang.
That's true.
Language. Slanguage. That's right. Now, so I remember
speaking the language already.
We are speaking the language already.
We are speaking the tongues already.
But if we're speaking in sounds and we dealing with vowels, somebody said it. Somebody just said this. Hold on, let me scroll back up. Somebody caught it. Nah, not snake language. Who said it? I just saw it. It just ran across my screen. Sound language. That's correct. Somebody said subjective. There it is. Subjective language. Subjective language.
Subjective.
Now, when you're, because in fact, and I mentioned this before, not a lot of our ancestors, in fact, the majority of our ancestors didn't write things down. And we did do a form of sign language. in order to communicate with foreigners, they had to try to understand that. But if they couldn't understand the words that we spoke, they would be subjective to our language and our dialect. That's another word for slang, dialect. So they noticed that we were speaking different dialects in everywhere here. So this is the reason why you got you still have certain dialects right now. For example, when you go to New York, they speak with a slang, a different dialect. Certain people say I sound like I'm from New York, but I'm from DC. I speak with a slang, a dialect, anywhere. That's why the reason why I say New York is because it doesn't matter if it's the South or the North. That's everywhere. Like you said, California. Like I'm from DC.
I know.
I'm from DC. In California, everybody speaks with a different native tongue or a different native dialect. Yes, even Baltimore has an accent. Everybody does.
That's what I was asking. What I'm saying is, like, do you think we're already speaking the language anyway? I think nothing's been changed. Who's to say what is right and what is wrong if we're speaking the same tongue and we've been doing it all along?
The reason why I say that things have been changed is because it's bringing us down by the words we speak and the way we spell it. We're casting spells over the words we already had.
And spell it the way we were taught.
We should be spelling it the way we say it, but we're spelling it the way that we're taught in school, and that's what the problem is. That's what the problem is. That's working against us.
Okay, good. We're using their system.
Remember the example? It came right back to me. The example I gave you is, why do we say good morning when there's nothing good in morning? We really got to be careful with what we're saying, because we're casting spells in our own life, in our own realm, in our own reality about what we put out of our mouth. And they don't know, and people have no idea. People have no idea because that's the way they were told. And I'm not going to say that was a tradition, that was a condition.
Right.
We were conditioned to be that way. We were conditioned to spell or cast the spells that way by the words that we speak. By the words that we speak. Like you going off of pronunciation of the words, it's always going to be a different spelling in most cases. So what they did was they added more definitions to certain words, so it can mean whatever they want it to mean. That's how they took it over. So they did change the language. We just never took it back, or we never laid claim to it. Well, we had, but keep in mind they had to teach us as children in order for us to be indoctrinated. They didn't do it to the adults. It's not with children. No. Children are more liable to learn, or more liable. They're more vulnerable.
We're proving the language itself because they're foreigners and they're not from here. And we were speaking this all along. Right there alone. That alone right there. They cannot define anything to us at that point with language.
See, people are associating English with England. And I think that's what the mistake is. They're associating the term English with England. I said, my wife and I.
It's in there, English.
It is
English, England. Yep.
And I'm only scratching the surface here, because my wife and I are going to put out more information on this note, where I'm going to show you how it was changed right in front of you. Right in front of you. And I did give a hint, and I guess I can say a little bit of it here. When you and the other brother was up, and I think it was another brother were up on the panel at first. And speaking of panel, I didn't even, oh my goodness. Was somebody else trying to raise their hand? Huh?
It was the Jamestown guy?
Yeah, when he mentioned Jamestown in Virginia.
Jamestown, right.
And I told him, he said, but it's not associated with Jamestown. I said, that's right, because they changed Jamestown's name from James City. And how they spelled James City was with 2 T's.
2 T's. Yep.
with 2 T's. And this is the reason why they can't find it. A lot of this information is there, but it's hidden. And it's hidden in different continents. If you want more information on England, get it from England. If you want more information on these colonizers, get it from where they originally, get it from their motherland.
Right.
Yes, city with 2 T's. In my book called It Was Told in Reverse, I told you where I got it from and showed you where I got it from. Yeah. So I broke it all the way down inside of my book.
I'm in
all the way.
I'm in Massachusetts, and every single town is named from over there, from Europe.
They tried to adapt this land and make it their own. So they renamed certain areas. Like James City was referring to King James. James River is referring to King James because he was the one that wrote the charter that allowed for the missionaries to come over here to preach the gospel in order to decimate our people's literacy and to quell people from revolting against the intruders. They were intruders, but a lot of them didn't survive. And you're going to read that in my book. I'm going to tell you, I'm talking about wave after wave after wave of them, of those foreigners, were dying. In fact, I mentioned this in one of my documentaries. I'm gonna bring this up. I told you guys that to go back to Britain and England and the rest of them, one of the major forms of punishment was called the Bloody Code. The Bloody Code consisted of their prisoners being sent to transportation. Transportation meant that they were sending their prisoners to a totally different continent, a totally different country, and a totally different continent as a punishment. In fact, that's still ongoing. That's just not being talked about. But a lot of those people came over here as prisoners of another country and another continent. And the census considered them free whites over here until they made their own government and was recognized by who? Another country and another continent. So if they just became a government and civilized themselves later on, we talking about 1850s, by the way, then who were here before they were? How did they establish themselves if they were that poor? We talking about poor immigrants. They couldn't do that on their own.
They were the worst of worst criminals being sent out. They kept what kind? Their prisons were overpopulated. They kept their selected prisoners.
They felt as though prisoners should be sent to a new world. That's why they called it a new world. They wanted them out of their surroundings. Yes, the Iroquois Confederacy helped them. Now they copied us. Now let me word that properly, because they thought that they were going to get something out of the deal by helping them. But we already had our confederates or confederations, yes, joined our confederations. We already had our confederations because we were the Confederates. We had our confederations. We were in control. We had our own Congress. We had everything prior to them coming here. So in order for them to be adopted into our way of living or civilization, they had to become accustomed to what we were doing. So what you see now, not now as far as all the negativity, but what you see now as far as a relationship with the government is concerned, by way of its people, we already had prior to these foreigners' arrival. There were tribes that were together as confederations. Not nations. Not nations, confederations. The nations are infiltrations because the government is at the top versus the people being at the top.
The confederation.
We were the original Confederates. We had our own armies. We had our own flags. This was prior, and y'all saw that video. I don't got to go back over it. They just got started. They literally just got started. It wasn't that long ago. The 1850s is when they really got started. And by the time they implemented white supremacy in the 1890s is when the ball was rolling. And they were hitting jump shot after jump shot. And it was working. It was not that long ago, y'all. But the reason why I'm mentioning that is because if they can do it, we can do it. We can do it.
Once.
We did it once. We can do it again.
Right, exactly.
But we did it more than once.
True.
We did it more than once because all of the so-called Black Wall Streets, now it was more than one. It was multiple ones of the so-called Black Wall Streets proved that we will outdo this government. And they got so jealous that they started redlining our businesses with U.S. interstates to keep them in the interstate. That's a big word, interstate. Going back to the use of their language, they cast their spells off of what they're saying. They keeping themselves in the interstate, the U.S. interstate. Redlined all of our businesses and got rid of them. And killed the people that tried to do anything to their militia. But that was when they had the power to do that. The reason why they had the power to do that is because they made them go to war first, get themselves upset, so when they come back and notice that the government wasn't going to do nothing for them, but they saw how the Niji was living, that was going to make them jealous. So the government allowed them to take back home property of the military. Y'all heard what I said? To use it against us because they knew they were going to get mad. They funded both sides of the war. I know you heard that before. They funded both sides of the war.
Did you see that lady in the courthouse that's trying to, one of the survivors, trying to take him to court?
Yeah, I put that on my channel also. I think she was 94 years old. But she got a...
That judge, the other one that was appealing it, man, he was a prick.
All of them were, because it's not just him, it's the governor too. The governor wasn't, they being petty in Oklahoma. Now, but the thing is that I got, and I'm not going to mention a lot, but I got some folks in Oklahoma getting ready to put back up the Wall Street. And they know I got their back. Anything they need, I got them. But we need to have our back. And this is the main reason why I created this 13%. This is just the start. I started the 13% server so we can have conversations off of stuff like this. We can have these conversations safe over here. And we can really get some things done. So if you're serious, click the button. If you got suggestions, mention it. If you got something to do or you want something to listen, say it. Say it. That's not fair that we're allowing this government to take control over us when this government shouldn't be here without our permission. They ease their way up And keep in mind, they got rid of the Republic. I showed you that. The United States of America of the Republic is gone. Now it's the U.S. Incorporated.
Yes, U.S. Inc. Yep.
So these people, this is a business now. So guess what we could do to businesses? Shut them down. So they shot themselves in the foot. Now this is something that we can legally do. That's why I'm able to state this on a public platform. Legally. And I showed you how. This, matter of fact, is protected internationally. And I showed you how. So don't think I'm talking out the side of my neck. I got the law that shows you that this protects you. They can't do a thing to us. Now, this the reason why I said that we did this more than once. And I'm not talking about going the same route that not the exact same route that we went as far as the Black Wall Streets. But one thing that I gotta say about the Black Wall Streets is that they did have their own banks. Now, this is something that we don't have. I think we have one or two, if I'm not mistaken. I do remember one in Washington, D.C., right before I left. They were coming up, and I forgot the name of them, but they were Niji owned. But I'm not sure if they gotta abide by the IMF, because if they do, then it's not Niji owned. Like, straight up. But they're gonna need help. The only way that could get transferred over to our own situation is if we have our own situation. Yes, Industrial Bank. That is the name of the bank. Yes, Industrial Bank is Niji owned. Now, like I said, I'm not sure if they tied to IMF, and I'm not even sure if they still around. Okay, but I'm just saying they were coming up when I was back in DC. They were coming up, and I'll never forget it. Professional, the people were nice. I got a chance to meet a couple of people that were higher up. They looked like me. I'm like, this is beautiful, but they need help. And this is what I want to get done. Like, I know I can't, nobody. We can't just do it with one person. Yes, Industrial Bank. That's the name of the bank. Industrial Bank. And I'm not sure, once again, I'm not sure if they're still around, but I hope they are. And I hope they're not with the IMF, because then but like I said, if they are, they need help. They need help. And it only happens it happens in numbers. Somebody said it right away. More than one bank. And that's the reason why we had control over we had 150 banks at that time in the 1920s. 150. We had over 100,000 businesses in the 1920s. And I said to myself, well, why not do it again? This time, make it more. Oh, that's a good word. Somebody said one united. Wait, is that another bank? That sounds like a bank. But make it more unified. Make it more unified this time. Where we set our own rules and regulations and handle it. We give our people loans to go buy houses and go buy land or whatever they want to do. We do that though. We determine it, not the
businesses.
Right, and businesses, not the FICO scores, not the trans unions. We don't got to deal with none of that. We set our own standards. Since they redlined our communities anyway, but that's another thing I meant to mention. Not only did they redline the banks, they redlined the communities, marking that you don't get good credit. Oh, this is a group of Nijis over here. All of them are bad credit. Right before you apply, they already got you redlined. They redlined the whole area with a red marker. Literally, I showed y'all this on camera. When I went to Asheville, North Carolina, I broke this all down and showed you the maps. Matter of fact, that was so much truth that YouTube took that video off my channel. That's on my website. I'm talking like it's still on my channel. It's on my website though. Shout out to North Carolina. Shout out to the Carolinas. Shout out to all of y'all. Because we all went through this. but we have to reestablish what we already had. And I'm just glad that my wife and I were able to do the research to bring this back up. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had no idea. I was not getting taught this in school. And my grandmother made sure that I was so-called in the best schools in Washington, D.C. Top schools here. And I was there with the white folks, and I was not getting taught none of this. None of this.
No.
Not at all. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Nowhere close. In fact, some of my teachers that was so-called teaching me, Dane, send that to me. Dane, I need to teach that. And hold on, don't take that wrong, because they probably watching. Don't take that wrong. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. Continue to do that. If you're a teacher, professor, continue to do that.
Fall up in the curriculum anyway.
Close that curriculum book up, put that crap to the side.
Yeah.
And teach them children the right thing, the truth. If you about the truth, what they gonna do to you? You in your own classroom.
In my day, there were a couple of teachers that used to slip and just tell you the truth on how things were.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. Yeah. Let them do it. I encourage that. As a matter of fact, if you're a teacher or professor, join the server. Join the server. If you able to join the server. If you for real, even truck drivers, we gotta move some stuff around the country. You better hit that. We gotta get everything that we need. I'm gonna try everything that I can. Hit the link, communicate. That's what this is about. Communicate. What could you bring to the table? You don't gotta put all of your business out there. But you gotta put you know what I'm saying? If you gonna put something on the table, look, right, somebody said supply chain. Hey, you understand where I'm coming from. We need it all.
What's supposed to be a part of everything?
Everything. We gotta mark everything that we did in the past and make it better. 100 times better. Okay, I mean, everybody, this government got an army. Well, so do we.
Always had armies.
You look, I'm gonna tell you how they know we got an army. Look at what Illinois just passed. In order for our army to kill each other.
We always had armies, man. You know that. And to this day, that hasn't stopped. We just don't know it yet.
But once again, y'all, I'ma just mention, I know it's super early. I'm gonna have to go get I'll go live again later on today. But right now I gotta go get me some coffee.
I was waiting to hear that.
Yeah, I haven't had my coffee. I've been up. So I'm gonna go get my coffee. I am gonna do it later on. But join the server. Join the 13% server. Once again, it's gonna be more than just the server. This is just the start.
Let them know.
This is just the start. But yeah, I'm gonna see y'all later on.
It's been a privilege talking to you, sir.
What's your name, brother?
Roger.
Roger,
I'll take W.
Don't say your last. You don't gotta say no personal.
No, I said Roger W. I'm Roger W on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah. I see you in the chat.
I'm one of your members. I'm one of your members. I'm there.
I see you, brother.
I'm not in front of the computer. I'm having my coffee while I talk to you. So
see, I'm jealous, man. Like you don't gotta rub it in my face.
You sound like you already had some.
Nah, it's just how I am. I'm usually energized when I start talking.
It's good and very good energy, man.
Yeah.
Very good.
But I need my coffee. I'm gonna do that, take a shower, do my run around the block, come back. I'm gonna set some things up, and I am gonna go live later today. Today. Like, what is today? Sunday? What's today?
Today's
Sunday. So I'll do it around like 4. What y'all want me to go eat? Matter of fact, let me type this in the chat. Y'all want me to go evening?
I have to go through a process, man. You tell me where I know your location, so I have to look at my time, at the time zone, because the notifications don't always come up. So when I look at the time. Okay, he's coming on at this time, so then I just go on and go in.
Hold on, I'm about to.
I don't know. It's like off and on sometime, man. For real.
I'm allowing them to do a vote right now. Nah, cause it's a little. I mean, that's why I asked them afternoon or evening. Okay, afternoon is like 3, 4.
Okay.
Evening is like 6, 7, or 8. Okay, evening is winning. We talking about today, y'all. Evening is kicking tail. And look, and matter of fact, once again, if you listening right now and you want to join the, like how Brother Rogers up here with me now. And once again, I apologize. I got to get this situated where I can see this thing on this side of the screen so I can see when people put up their hand. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get that straightened out to the next live stream where I can have that up and allow more people to come up. I apologize about that. That's not gonna happen the next go round.
So you'll be going live on the app sometimes too, right?
Actually, I'm gonna go live again on the. I'm live on the app right now.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna be going live on. Definitely going live on this app. Like even outside of YouTube, I'm gonna go live on this app, like so I could talk freely.
Yeah, I saw that on there this morning. I was like, oh, okay. It was early. I'm like, I just downloaded it. Boom, boom, boom. Logged in, registered, everything. I was like ready. Then I seen you was on. I'm like, okay. Yeah,
I just wanted to test it. I really just wanted to test it because this is my first time using it, and it's doing very well. And it's very easy for me to bring people up. And I don't want to bring you guys up and I'm getting ready to leave right now, but I apologize. I'll remember your name, Jimmy and OB1. Jimmy Winters and OB1. I promise. If you come back, it looks like evening is winning. Come back this evening. I'll see you guys' names. I'll bring you right up. Aubrey too. I'm not going to forget. But it looks like, okay, evening 1, I'm gonna go ahead and end the pool right there. I'm gonna go ahead and end the pool. If you are a YouTube channel member, when you click on the server link, go to the rules and scroll down to YouTube members. So you could be assigned as a YouTube member. You go through those steps and link your YouTube account with Discord. Same thing with Patreon. Link your Patreon up with Discord. You get special perks in here. But I'll see you all this evening. I know certain people are gonna be mad that it's not gonna be afternoon. Okay, tell you what, I'm gonna go see, but then again, it's gonna base off of you guys' time. I'm gonna try to go 5 or 6. 5 or 6 o'clock. I'm gonna try to go 5 or 6 o'clock. Cause 3 or 4, a lot of people not, I'm pretty sure people not, cause they got things to do. It's Sunday. 5 or 6. I'm gonna try to do it as early as possible. I'll see you all then.
Right, sir.
I'm just here to make you think.